he's done it. As well, got the finish.
That's in towards Tommy Conway.
Goal. Runners around him, goes on his own and scores a glorious goal. Ruthless stuff for Bristol City.
The international break is over. We are back at Ashton Gate. The weather might be dreary, but confidence is high as Bristol City look to build on that formidable victory over their Welsh rivals Swansea before the break. Today marks the first of two big home games in just 4 days. The first a short hop down the M4 for West Brom, whose season has started in a similar vein to that of the Reds. Baggies fans, though, will want more. Nigel Pearson briefly took charge of West Brom back in 2006, winning 3 of his 4 games in temporary charge, but he'll be wanting to inflict further away day misery today if he can. And watching it alongside me today is the brilliant Trevor Challis. Back, I think for the first time this season, Trevor.
Yeah, it is. It's my debut for this season, as Ali Irons and Neil Swift were telling me, so I'm really looking forward to it. So
and you've had another good morning, in typical fashion, with the under-21s.
Oh, the under-18s.
The under-18s.
Yeah, no, we played Peterborough and we had a good win. We won 2-0. So that's now 6 games unbeaten and we still haven't conceded a goal. So obviously the boys are confident. They're, we really want to just continue that form going.
Yeah, absolutely. And another really exciting day for the Academy. We'll have more on that in a couple of moments from our lead commentator today, Alex Duffel. And Trevor, just what have you made of the season so far? Fantastic victory down in South Wales. We had some wonderful away days, but now it's about transforming that into home form.
Yeah, definitely. As soon as we can get the home form firing and going, I think you'll see the team really take off. There's a really good team spirit in the group. I know I said about it last season. It seems to have really grown this season as well. And if we could get our home form going like we can away from home, then obviously it will really take off the season.
Absolutely. And what have you made about some of the boys that have had to step up? We've lost the likes of Tommy Conway, Rob Atkinson, we were mentioning off air a few moments ago. Some really experienced players at different times as well. And the likes of Sam, I always talk about Sambo with Brian Tinnion, because Tommy Conway kind of took the kind of glint maybe a little bit off Sam almost coming into the first team. But now his numbers were so strong towards the end of last season, and now this season he's prolific.
Yeah, sometimes you just need that little bit of opportunity and a run of games. And Sam's showing that with the run of games he's having. He's very mobile, Sam is. He's very quick. He's a good athlete. He came back as one of the fittest boys in the group. So he's got all the tools there to go and be successful. And his finishing is really, really good. So when he gets the chance, which he's shown in the under-18s and under-21s, he generally takes that chance.
Absolutely right. Well, we desperately want a win today. Fingers crossed. Who's going to make the starting 11? Let's cross live to our lead commentator for this afternoon. It's Alex Duffel.
Thank you very much, Toby, and welcome to what is in truth quite a grey Ashton Gate this afternoon. There's plenty of cloud cover around BS3, but the fans are in hot anticipation of this one. It's been almost a month since we've had championship action here. The last home game being the 19th of August against Birmingham City, and this time it's Birmingham's cross-town rivals West Bromwich Albion who are in town, and this is the team that manager Carlos Corberán has named for this one. Just the one change for West Brom following their late defeat to Huddersfield 2-1 prior to the international break, that being that Connor Townsend drops to the bench, Eric Peters comes in at left back. So it'll be Alex Palmer in goal for the Baggies. He's looking to record his first clean sheet of the season. Back 4 will be Darnell Furlong, Semi Ajayi, who's been away with Nigeria during the international break, Cedric Kipre and Peters, who comes in at left back. Then the midfield 2 holding will be Jason Malumbi and Oke Yokushlu. And in front of them will be Jed Wallace on the right, Matt Phillips on the left, and Baggies' top scorer so far this season, John Swift. And in front of him, leading the line, will be Brandon Thomas Asante. Plenty of experience for West Brom on the bench. You'll recognise a few names there, including Nathaniel Chalabar, Grady Diangana, and new signing Josh Madger, signed from Bordeaux this summer. There's also room on the bench for Josh Sarmiento, on loan from Brighton, and Pippa, the new loan signing, signed on deadline day on loan from Ludogorets to link up with Corberán once again. He is formerly of Huddersfield Town. Now, taking on the Baggies this afternoon, this is the side that Nigel Pearson has named. Just the one change for Bristol City this afternoon from their victory against Swansea, and that is enforced. That's because Taylor Gardner-Hickman cannot play against his parent club West Brom. So George Tanner comes in for Gardner-Hickman at right back. But other than that, it is the same City side. So ever-present Max O'Leary in goal, looking to add to his one clean sheet so far this season. Tanner comes in at right back, and he'll be joined by Zach Viner, Cal Naismith and Cam Pring across the back line for City this afternoon. In midfield, it'll be Joe Williams, Matty James, and fresh from international duty with Ireland, Jason Knight. And then up top for City today, it'll be Mark Sykes and the ever-prolific Sam Bell, looking for another winning goal this season. He's on the left, and leading the line will be Naki Wells. The bench for City this afternoon, well, Stefan Bajic is the backup keeper. Harry Cornick, he's still looking for his first league goal of the season. And Andy King, Anis Mehmeti. Rob Dickey is on the bench, as well as Hayden Roberts, and then there's a trio of youngsters. So the three teenagers make the bench for City this afternoon. Jamie Knight-Labelle, only 18, and then two even younger than him, Ephraim Yeboah, 17, and for the first ever time in a Bristol City squad, Raekwon Nelson, the talented 17-year-old. So that is the side that Nigel Pearson has named. Let's take a listen to see what he has to say.
Nigel, one change today enforced as Taylor Gardner-Hickman is unavailable. Are you looking for the same tenacity and energy as we saw at Swansea away?
Well, it would be nice. It would be good for us to reproduce the same sort of form. In that game, we created a host of chances and even had 3 disallowed goals. So, you know, we know what we're capable of doing. It's just that at home so far this season, we've not really hit those heights, and I think it's just important for us to go out there today and give our fans, you know, this is where the majority of our fans see us play. So it's really important that we convince our fan base that we are a potent force.
What kind of challenge do you expect from West Bromwich Albion this afternoon?
Well, they're a good side. They've got some really good players. They play with they'll play 3-4-3 quite a lot of the time. So they commit bodies forward. There'll be a test. They're quite inventive too. Set plays. They've got a lot of options, and physically they're quite big. So we know that they are a really good side at this level. They'll be hoping, I think, to get back into the Premier League with a strong run this year. So never an easy game, and Carlos's teams always work really hard. So we know what to expect, but I think they also know what we're about, and I don't think they'll go into this game thinking it'll be easy.
The midfield battle is going to be really key today. Jamo, Joe, and Knight's been in really good form recently. So how important will that relationship they've built over the last few games be?
Well, it's always important. You know, the midfield area in all games is a very, very important aspect of it. You know, so yeah, they're quite a good possession side, but they're also decent on the counter attack. It could be a game where both teams are trying to let each other have the ball a little bit, because you know, we are pretty potent when we're attacking on the break. So it'll be an interesting game, but I just want us to play well. But of course, we want to win it too.
A new face on the bench today, Raekwon Nelson.
Yeah.
How impressive has he been in training? Can you tell the fans a little about what kind of player he is?
Well, he's a young man who's learning his trade in sort of the right back area, but he's played higher up the pitch too, wide, and he gives us energy and he gives us pace, and if he gets on today, I have no qualms about seeing him terrorise people down the right hand side. So he's deserved his chance to be a part of the first team. I think it's also very important for all of our players in our academy to see that there is if they do well, there's a chance for them to be included. So it's never a PR stunt as far as I'm concerned. It's just about making sure that we continue with the type of the ethos that we've built up over a period of time, and that is we need to produce players, and when players are good enough, they get a chance.
You mentioned that when players are good enough, they got a chance. Sam Bell's really taken his opportunity so far this season. How much are you hoping he continues this form from before the break today?
Well, we always know what we'll get from Belly, and that is absolutely 100% commitment. And because of his pace, and he's a good finisher too, he'll always give teams a problem. And even when he's probably not at his best going forward, we know what we'll get for him defensively. And that, for me, as a manager, is very important. The forwards in any team are the first line of defence. And if they work really hard, we win the ball higher up the pitch, and it gives us better opportunities to score goals. So Belly fits that profile perfectly.
Nigel Pearson there with Robins TV, and obviously the main talking point there really for Ryan of the media team was Raekwon Nelson. How did that all kind of materialise that he's now found himself in the matchday squad on a Saturday?
Well, he said he's been in really good form. He's a really good athlete, as the manager alluded to there. He can run all day, very fit boy. His progression's been startling, really. He's gone in that direction. He seems to keep getting better and better. He's so mobile and quick. And we say to the boys, sometimes you get one chance to make a really good first impression, and Ray seems to have done that. So he played for the under-21s last week, put in a really good cameo performance, like 15-20 minutes, and he's pretty much trained with them ever since. And he's done well when he's gone up as well. So it's okay going up and training, but you've got to perform well as well.
It's a bonkers time. Probably for Ephraim, is, he to an extent he's still pinching himself at his involvement in the first team squad, and it feels as though he's edging closer to maybe actually spending more time on the pitch, maybe even a starting berth. You never know. Is he still sort of progressing and showing those levels that's keeping him in there? He's
very grounded, Ephraim, and he wants to work hard at all times at his game. Again, another really quick player, physically strong, getting better and better all the time, especially his 1v1 finishing. Again, another member of the under-18 group that is pushing each other. It's a group that pushes each other really well. Yeah, absolutely. And Nigel mentioned there, it's going to be two teams that maybe just want the other team to almost have the ball so they can try and kind of counter. How do you see this one going? And do you think it'd be similar sort of story to Swansea or slightly different? I think it's going to be quite an open game. I walked in with Darnell Furlong's dad, Paul, and he's anticipating an open game today, and I can see it being that way as well. I think we've got players that can really hurt West Brom on the break. Sam Bell, Mark Sykes are two in particular that can hurt the team, and I think Jason Knight, I think the way he presses the ball, he'll go and get after them as well, so it's got the making of being a really exciting game.
I'm excited. It's great to be back, obviously after the international break. Right, today is a home game, of course, but it's been a big week. Yesterday you may have seen the announcement of the new away kit, which lots of people have been snapping up in the Bristol Sports Store at Ashton Gate. Zach Viner doing his very best model impression there. Good looking guy, Zach Viner, so you can sort of see why he was selected for the pictures. Here's some of the more of the squad as well, from both the women's side and the men's side. Nakiwell's there too, and here it is in the flesh. I've signed this out from the club store, and I'm hoping I can subtly just pop it in my bag as well and take it home with you. What do you make of it, Trevor?
Yeah, I walked in, I was like, wow, that is a nice shirt. I really like that. I think that will sell really well. Especially leading up to Christmas, Toby.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the collar as well. It's very nice. The purple and lime too. Right, well, we'll see it soon enough. Next weekend, in fact, of course. Time for a break now. We'll be back shortly with lots more analysis with Trevor, and then, of course, the all-important kickoff.
Hi everyone, it's Matt here from the Robins Foundation. I am here today to say a massive thank you to all of our Robins Lotto members. It's thanks to all of you that over the last year we've been able to donate over £46,000 directly to the Robins Foundation, which goes straight towards supporting all of our amazing community projects. So huge thank you to all of our Lotto members. If you want to be in with a chance of winning huge cash prizes every week, whilst also supporting your community, then please head to the Robins Foundation website and sign up to the Robins Lotto today. Thank you.
Welcome back to Robins TV. Big game today, of course. West Brom sitting on 7 points in the Championship table, just behind Bristol City, who are looking to build on that win away at Swansea and hopefully pick up on the home form as well. We've heard team news. We know there's some youngsters in the squad, and a man that's instrumental in building the academy here at Ashton Gate is Brian Tinnion, and he's just going to talk us through, earlier on this week, what it's like in his newfound role with less than a year in his position.
Brian, thanks for joining us. 10 months since you were appointed Technical Director at Bristol City. How are you and how have things been going?
Yeah, really enjoyable. I've enjoyed the role so far. We're putting a plan in place that's going to stay there for the long-term future, and we've got a way of playing now, so the recruitment of the players becomes a little bit easier, I think, because a lot of players that were on there will go off there because of the style we're playing now and the sort of play we want. The staff have been really supportive, the recruitment team have been great and worked extremely hard and helped me, and the academy staff and the first team staff have been great too, so it's been pretty easy to settle into the role. I've got a good relationship with Nige, which is important, and that's probably grown since I've got this role, so we're really all together as a football club now, I think, and the academy, the first team are viewed the same to me, and we want that pathway through to the first team, and I can help that now.
Good to hear. It's the first chance we've spoke since the end of the transfer window, so we're going to dwell on that for a second. Firstly, what is the transfer window like for yourself, the recruitment team? Is it exciting, frustrating, rewarding, or a bit of everything, really?
I think a bit of everything, but I think a lot of the work is done before, so as soon as this window's shut now, we're planning for the January window and the summer window next year, so there's a lot of hard work and planning goes into it. We did our work really early in the window. We had, I think, 3 of the players. We had Rob and Ross and Hayden all done before the window actually opened. So we were really active, and we wanted to do that to make sure we got the right players in early. Then we got Jason Knight a little bit after that when we come back from Austria. So we were really happy with the window, and yeah, there's a lot of hard work goes in. There's a lot of frustrations. We missed out on a couple that were high on our list, but then we were lucky to get the ones in that we did, who were also very high on our list. So you lose some, you win some, you lose some, and it's frustrating at times, but it's rewarding when you look back and you look at the players you've got in, and you think that's a good window for us, especially with Taylor a little bit later on from West Brom, who's a really talented young player. You can never tell how players are going to perform, but you must be pretty happy with how Rob, Hayden, Taylor and Jason have done so far. Yeah, very much so. They've settled in well, and I think that's getting them in early is really important, because they can settle in with the squad. As I say, 3 of them went to Austria, so they were very much part of it straight away. Jason was in just after that, Taylor a little bit later, but I think the characters they are and the sort of people they are, they've settled in really well with a good group of players as well who's already here. So it looks a good, solid squad, exciting squad, and we're looking forward to seeing how the season pans out. He seems like a man that's sort of just most comfortable when he's in that kind of environment that you now have up at the HPC, Brian Tinnion. Yeah, he's been really good for us, especially for us in the academy. He's a real pusher and believer of young players going into the club. I think he was a player
at the club when there was a lot of young players going in at the time. And he's a member of staff. He's always first in and he's last out. The hours he puts in are unbelievable, Brian does, but a really good person.
Fantastic representative of the club as well. Right, let's have a little look and reflect then on how these two teams have been performing in recent weeks. Let's take a look at Bristol City first of all, and quite how impressive the build-up play to this goal for Mark Sykes, and of course the assist as well. And Joe Williams is a player as well, Trevor, that has sort of come alive in the light of Knight arriving at the club too.
Yeah, he's playing a little bit deeper, but he really breaks the play up well. And I think his pass forwards there was excellent into Sykes, and he's done brilliantly. Sykes has sat the defender down and he's finished it brilliantly. It's
a fabulous goal. Sykes is a player that sort of came into the club almost a bit under the radar. When he did join the side, it was maybe the signing, I never like to say this, that people weren't necessarily talking about the most, but he's kind of slipped in, done his job so amazingly, and the composure just to check back inside there. And then he, of course, goes on, and it's all his own work here with this assist. A fabulous ball out to that right-hand side, initially by Taylor Gardner-Hickman, but we'll highlight Sykes here, and this is where he just sort of comes alive.
Yeah, he's a very good manipulator of the ball. He travels well with it, picks up a great position between the lines here. Gets a tiny bit of luck, as you'll see in a second, which every player needs, especially a lot of goals. But if you have a look at Sam Bell's position on the far post, we call it locking it out. And that's not done by accident. That's something that's worked on religiously in crossing sessions, in patterns of play. You've got your front three, and it's important that they lock out the far post when the ball's coming in.
Absolutely. And we mentioned Sam Bell earlier on. I mean, Naki Wells not involved necessarily in the two goals, but he's his energy that he provides between the two of them kind of allows them to go about their business as well.
He's got great energy, but if you have a look at that finish, I think you heard the manager speak about his finishing skills are excellent, and that's a really tough finish, and he's put it back in the opposite corner. It's a really good goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And the best bit about all of that was, of course, the crutches in the away end that were flying around the limbs as well from the Bristol City fans too.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's a great away day. Every time you beat Cardiff or Swansea, it's a great away day.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's have a little look then at the West Brom defending in recent weeks, which has been something to be desired. Of course, we know all about their away form, but very, you've seen this clip as well, Trevor. Yeah. So static in these situations.
Well, West Brom are a high pressing team, so they do leave gaps, and they've not screened the front player well enough there, the midfield, and it's been too easy for him to get turned and score against them. So that's something we could possibly look at. Can we play the ball down the sides against a static back line?
And that last one, they were so deep there, they kept caught on the other foot, kind of pressing in this situation here.
Yeah, if you have a look at this one here, have a look at the recovery by the number 36, the fullback. I think I could recover probably quicker. So that's, again, another area of the pitch. If they are out of balance, and we do win it high up the pitch, can we get out of Sambo? Can we get out to Sykes quickly? Especially on Philip's side, where he's probably going to be the higher fullback. Can we get it in between them and then go and attack, as he said, go and attack the far post, go and attack the middle of the goal, while they're out of balance?
And those are the things that arguably are a little bit more troubling when you see players failing to track back like that. Those are the basics, surely. As a manager, you don't mind mistakes being made as such, but it's those kind of things that probably get on Carlos Corberan's nerves more than anything.
Any coach's nerves. So it's your reaction to mistakes. So the bare minimum there from number 30, the fullback, is to get in, sprint, and try and make the finish a hard finish. You might not be able to do it, but you've got to try and affect the forward's finish at that point.
And just quickly, Trevor, very strong West Brom squad, so they're capable of hurting Bristol City today.
Yeah, but we've seen in the Championship that if you set your stall out right, if you go about the game correctly, you can go and damage any team in this division. And I firmly believe that Bristol City can go and damage West Brom today.
Really quick score prediction?
I'm going to be brave and go 3-1 Bristol City.
3-1 Bristol City. Fingers crossed. Right, it's time for us then to almost say goodbye to those of you that are watching on YouTube and Facebook today, which is those of you probably that are in the UK. You can, of course, still download your matchday pass at bcfc.co.uk. As I mentioned a bit earlier on, Nigel Pearson was manager of West Brom back in 2006. Can he inflict further misery today?